I was in a car accident. Before I breathed my last, I learned that the son I'd raised for years was actually my husband's illegitimate child. Then I opened my eyes again, and my husband was standing before me with his illegitimate son. Honey, let's adopt him. No, let mom adopt him. He can be your brother. The day of the accident was our family picnic. My husband, John Smith, was driving, and my son, Tommy Smith, was in the back seat with me. As we approached the tunnel exit, Tommy said his door felt loose and asked me to check it. Without a second thought, I unbuckled my seatbelt and leaned toward him. Before I could even see the problem, the car swerved violently and crashed. I instinctively shielded Tommy, protecting him from the shattering rear window. Unfortunately, because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, I was thrown from the car during the impact as it rolled down the highway. As I lay dying, I heard a chilling conversation. Dad, is she dead? Don't worry, she's definitely dead. The man's voice was cold, as if I were a stranger. Great, so can I finally bring my real mom home? Not yet, let's wait until after her funeral. Oh yeah, and the insurance. Dad, once we get the insurance money, let's go on a family trip to Hawaii. Mom always wanted to go. Okay, whatever you and your mom want. My rage couldn't stop the fading of my life. Finally, I closed my eyes, filled with resentment. Perhaps it was divine intervention, but I was reborn on the day my husband brought my son home. Everything was still possible. It was our 7th wedding anniversary. John returned from a business trip and suddenly brought a little boy home. It was Tommy Smith, the son I had loved dearly in my past life. Seeing my mother-in-law's familiar and affectionate demeanor towards Tommy, I couldn't help but scoff. The whole family knew, except me. John left Tommy in his mother's care and pulled me into the living room. Sarah, I need to talk to you about something. In the living room, John spun a sad tale of Tommy's childhood. He was 5 years old, his parents unknown. He grew up with his grandmother, and now that she had passed away, he was an orphan wandering the streets. The poor kid is so pitiful. I just couldn't help but bring him home. In my past life, I'd immediately welled up at this story, praising his kindness and quickly completing the adoption process. But now, I wouldn't let him get his way. John was still feigning struggle, mentioning various factors before tentatively suggesting, honey, let's adopt him. His mother peeked in from the other room. She smelled a rat. I smiled sweetly at him. No, let mom adopt him. He can be your brother. John's expression was like he'd swallowed a fly. He awkwardly continued, don't say that, mom's too old. His mother, still in the other room, anxiously watched John. She'd heard every word I said, and her face went pale. Before they could persuade me further, I rubbed my temples. I'm very tired. I'm going to bed. 3 I lay in bed, unable to sleep. My husband harbored such wicked intentions, and I hadn't noticed it in my previous life. Considering that the boy was 5 years old, so, he'd been cheating on me since shortly after we got married. John's father died young, and his mother raised him alone. When we first met, his family still had debts, but because he was honest and kind to me, I didn't care. When we first got married, we agreed to focus on our careers and postpone having children. That delay continued until Tommy appeared. He was sweet, obedient, and seemed pitiful. I genuinely accepted him, but then I got pregnant, and Tommy ran away from home several times, nearly getting into accidents. I tried to talk to him, but he was very resistant. My mother-in-law packed her bags, crying and saying she would take him back to her hometown so she wouldn't be in my way. Then, John put on a show of agonizing over the decision, repeatedly saying he wanted to wait until Tommy was older to have another child. I miscarried under the stress. Remembering all of that, these 3 people were deliberately trying to kill my baby. A tear rolled down my cheek in the darkness. That car accident, that insurance policy he